like your pink hoodie.
Thanks. Look, it's got a big rock on it.
This is my elevator, by the way.
I had to erase a picture of a penis that I had drawn on that board for this call.
Brag.
Thank you.
Does everyone know Tamara? Fred, you know Tam, right?
Yeah, hi.
And Flea, you kind of know Tam too.
Yeah, only from Twitter. You're the only one that I've ever met, Susanna.
When did we meet?
Like I met you, like did the Bangles ever play at like the Cafe, the Starwood?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like then, like I like the Cafe I remember.
I could just throw in that I'm reading your book.
Oh, thanks.
And it's so good and so interesting and moves me in so many ways. But just randomly, you talked about seeing The Exorcist when you went to The Exorcist the first time. Yeah. And I said to Tamara, I have such an Exorcist story. I mean, I have my own Exorcist story. And then I wondered, does everybody have an Exorcist story of when they went and saw it? I saw it when it came out in Westwood. Yeah. And who happens to know the year? Was it 73?
I think it was 72, I think, because it was right when I moved to LA. And I also saw it in Westwood.
Okay, so you saw it at the National in Westwood?
Yeah.
Okay. I waited in line for 5 hours. So if it came out in 72, I was 13. Ran, kind of somersaulted down the long aisle in that theater. It was a big, giant movie theater, right, Flea? The National, like huge. Yeah. And ended up watching the whole movie kind of like this. And then it sort of destroyed my life for like a year after it. Every time Tubular Bells would come on, I would just remember that song.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And my father, who's a psychiatrist, had to do like a lot of like, psychoanalysis, like lay psychoanalysis with me, because it was all about, this is all about your repressed or budding sexuality. And it really kind of messed up my life for a long time.
When I saw it, the story I tell in my book is that I went to see it. I was like mortally terrified. And there was an elderly woman sitting next to me. And she was wearing a big fur coat. And she had a big crazy wig on, like an old lady wig, And I'm watching a film, and right at one of the most harrowing sections of the film, and I can't even remember what it was, but she took the coat, and I didn't even know this woman, just random woman next to me, and put it over me, like covered me in the coat. And I like nuzzled in there to kind of next to her, like breast, like scared to death. And it didn't seem wrong at all. Like I was so happy to be protected by this woman. And then 4 or 5 years later, when I'm 15, I meet Anthony Kiedis, and, we become best friends. And I tell him that story. I'm like, when I saw The Exorcist, and this lady put her coat over me. And he's like, you're fucking kidding me. That lady did that to me too. That happened to me too. This woman who took it upon herself to protect kids from Satan.
The first exposure I had to The Exorcist was I used to read Mad Magazine. And that's the first place I saw it.
My experience with The Exorcist has been redoing the scenes that I loved so much. I was like in second grade, and my friend Carolyn had twin beds in her room. And I was like, let's play Exorcist. Just to do the part where she's going, fuck Jesus, fuck me. Doesn't she have crossed eyes when she pees on the floor? And she's like, they're all gonna die.
Fun fact about that weirdly, William Friedkin, Bill Friedkin, in the 80s, sought the Bangles out, and we all went to his house, and he wanted to direct the Walk Like an Egyptian video, which works.
Yeah.
That's interesting and bizarre. He ended up not directing it, but Gary Weiss, who made films for SNL, actually, this just tying in with you guys who are SNL people, he ended up directing it. But isn't that bizarre that William Friedkin would want to direct a Bangles video?
Probably needed to lighten it up after that. Imagine the karmic load he's carrying from all the lives.
I've never seen it.
What?
You never seen The Exorcist?
I haven't seen a lot of crucial films for some reason. Last night was my 3-year anniversary of being married, and we watched Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield, and it was the first movie of his I've ever seen.
Wow.
I'm in a Rodney Dangerfield K-hole right now. I can't get enough. Our night ended with my husband reading me the entire Rodney Dangerfield Wikipedia.
Yeah, he had an interesting career. I think everything happened to him as he was older.
But Fred, was he trying to be a comedian all the way through, but then it hit when he was older?
I think so. That's what I gather from it. But he did some TV appearances early on. It just wasn't until the 80s that or maybe was it the late 70s or the 80s that he was huge.
Now, Fred, you wrote his Wikipedia page, right?
Yeah. I copied it though. That's the easy thing about Wikipedia. I just copied it all from books and stuff. It took me 20 minutes.
Rodney Dangerfield's a real pothead, right? Is he still alive?
He's dead.
He died.
Well, he was a notorious pothead.
Flea, I didn't know you played on the Young MC record. The Young MC.
I did, and they sold 30 million records, and they literally, my paycheck from that record, and I feel like I helped write the music, like they kind of built the beat around the bass line. They gave me $20 and a bag of weed. A little bag of shitty weed.
It's hard to come across shitty weed anymore.
I know, it's so strong now, I'm terrified of it. But at least you know what you're getting into. I stopped smoking weed too soon. Like it was always, in high school and stuff, you just like buy a bag of weed from a guy on the corner. And now you can go into a shop and be like, I'd like something kind of light with a, with a tiny edge, something that will make me sort of giggly, but not, too philosophical. But I do want to be creative. I'd like it to last about 3 hours and wean off into the afternoon for the golden hour. You can't do that. You couldn't do that when I was a kid.
I just started smoking weed again. I feel like I'm not a great authority on it. I can't smoke much.
Do you vape?
I vape. Yeah. Well, anytime I've taken an edible, I feel like I've felt like I'm going to die.
Once in Amsterdam, I ate a bunch of hash and was like, and it was during a time in my life where I smoked weed all day long, every single day. And I just, ate some hash. I was staying in a youth hostel, walking down the street, and literally all of a sudden I was like, I can't feel my arms. I can't feel my legs. It was Anthony. I need to lie down. We went back to the youth hostel. We went through this bar where we thought everyone was going to kill us. And I remember literally went and lay down, and we had bunk bed cots, and I was laying down on my cot. And after about 2 hours, I started feeling my fingers dude, are you okay?
I remember the most stoned I've been. I couldn't tell if I had shat my pants or not.
I was in San Francisco once and had a cookie. It was a pot cookie.
Go ahead.
And we were walking up the hills, and we went into some restaurant, and I was so high I thought they set up the bathrooms as a gag. Like I thought the door I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom, but I feel like this one's a gag, this door. And then I was gonna open it, and you would lead into the second part of the restaurant, and everyone would laugh at you. Be like, you fell for it, you dummy. You fell for the gag bathroom.
I once, early on in the Chili Peppers era, Malcom McLaren, the guy that produced the Sex Pistols and Bow Wow Wow and stuff, he wanted to work with the Chili Peppers, and I can't remember if we had made our first record or not. This is 1984, and I got really stoned, and we met with him. And I fainted in the meeting. He was saying all this crazy stuff. And I literally just
Yeah, I'm a big time fainter.
I'm a fainter as well, Cecily. I fainted.
This is great.
Occasions, but almost always weed induced. Like at the park.
I've had a couple weed faints.
Weed. I was with my ex, and I was just falling in love, and I fall in love crazily, right? Everything changes, and every cell of my body's in love. And got high, going to the game. I was going to get stoned and watch the Dodger game. We walk in the lot, and I got out of the car, and I walked a couple of steps, and I was like, I'm really in love. What if I'm only doing it out of fear because I'm scared to be alone? Or some thought like that, some fear thought. It was, next thing I know, I was down on the ground. And I remember maybe more in love because I was so embarrassed that I fainted. I'm here, come on, honey, let's go to the game. And I faint. And then she was like, hey, she sat me up on one of the little parking lot concrete things and sat me up. It's like, you cool? She's rubbing my back, like, you all right? And I was like, yeah, I just got really faint. I tripped out, and and she's like, it's all right. I'm here with you. I got you. And then like a minute later, she was totally cool, like, and it made me so like, oh God, I love you so much. You know what I mean? And then weirdly enough, then like 2 minutes later, we walk into the game, we sit down in our seats, and I'm just kind of coming to from this bizarre thing. I feel dizzy and weird, and there's a million people, and I'm in the Dodger game. And all of a sudden, they start playing the Chili Pepper song really loud, and it put me up on the jumbo.
What is fainting?
Your body wants to go into this position to get oxygen back to your brain.
Oh.
So you like kind of die a little bit.
And you can't break your fall, right? You just
No, you can't.
That's
What is
I'm the
this?
swooner.
But what Flea experienced, Fred, was I need a fainting couch.
Yeah, you needed it.
It was like, he was like, it was like from love, actually.
Yeah.
I've been in that
We
position on
designed
planes.
our arms though, so that we just instinctively know to like put them in front of us when we faint. That's something that we should work on, I think, for human design.
I would love that, especially right now while we've got the time. I would love to work on that.
Let's work on it.
I've started to get really attached to just seeing everybody's.
Oh, it's like little families.
I know. And
I know it's like the end of a creative project when you're happy to be done working, but you're sad that you don't get to see everybody again.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot for inviting me. And
well, thank you guys so much. It was so nice to meet you, Cecily. And
Nice
so
to meet you.
To see you, Fred, and nice to see you after so long, Flea.
yeah, nice to see you.
Yeah,
You guys,
that's very
thank you
cool.
so much.
I'm humbled by this group. Thank you.
See y'all.
All right, bye guys.
Just another manic Monday.
Up next, Willa Amai.
Thank you so much, Susanna. You are such an inspiration to me as a person and a songwriter and a performer. So this is my version of Everything I Wanted. You were standing like a statue in the light, and it looked just like perfection in my eyes. When he spoke, I staggered from the blow. Once I touched, I never could let go. Oh, this is what I waited for. Everything I wanted. Oh, everything I wanted. Oh, everything I wanted for a while. Whispered every secret we could tell, and we painted lovely pictures of ourselves. Hid the parts we didn't want to know, as the strength of our illusions took control. Oh, this is what I waited for. Oh, everything I wanted. Oh, everything I wanted. Oh, everything I wanted. Thank you for watching, and I hope you liked it. Bye.
Willa, that was so beautiful and poignant. Wow, thank you for unearthing that rare Bangles song and giving it a whole new interpretation. Well done. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.